All
How are you
right.
doing?
We are Team Six, and the idea we came up with is GigAtlas, your music mapped to the perfect stage. Tour planning is often stressful, time-consuming, and expensive for the independent artist. So we created GigAtlas to help artists plan the most efficient, cost-effective, and fan-focused tours by integrating fan data with travel. Our process is to identify superfan locations using Chartmetric and Luminate, refine locations with Songkick, and optimize routes based on lodging and gas prices.
For the first step to identify the ideal tour cities, we are using the artist data from the Luminate and Chartmetric and develop a city index that helps to determine which cities hold the most potential. And you can see the variety of the metrics we use at the bottom of the right.
Our next step is to identify the ideal venues. And to do this, we use Songkick, the file that was presented to us, and used various VLOOKUPs to find the top 10 cities for our artist as well as their availability, so that we could then plug that into our Streamlit.
The next step is obviously the plan logistics. In the next slide, we have a demo of what our app looks like. If we could move on to that as I talk about this. Cool. So after the artist finds their top cities, what they can do is they can go onto the venue finder and find venues available based on the Songkick data, and as well as an optimized tour date route based on the availability, genre, and also their audience. And then lastly, they will go on to the fourth tab and put in the name of the venues that they would like to go to, or venues that they could potentially go to. Afterwards, what happens is the map will auto-populate, and based on distance between venues, real-time state gas prices, and fuel efficiency of the artist's car and vehicle, a map it will highlight the tour route with the red lines indicating travel paths and gas cost estimates displayed on hover. And then the fourth tab is the hotels near tour cities. Once the artist figures out which cities they want to go to, the last tab will scrape data from booking.com and such to find hotel names, price, ratings, and the direct booking link for those hotels as well. We also do have price range slider that will allow users to choose between certain price points. As you can see, as the map gets generated, you can zoom out and get a full view of what a tour route would look like. And then in the next tab, the artist will be able to go on and choose between different cities to see their specific hotels.
What makes GigAtlas unique is that no other A&R tool combines fan data with travel logistics or allows artists to automate and scale tour planning based on budget. For example, a 10-day tour booked by a manager or an agent can cost up to $10,000. But with GigAtlas, artists can streamline the process and costs using data-driven insights. Best of all, a functioning version can be built in just 24 hours using existing APIs, making efficient tour planning more accessible than ever.
Looking ahead, we're planning to add merch management to further boost artist profitability. We hope to make our tour planning algorithm even smarter by incorporating data sources such as Shazam, Genius, and Polestar. And finally, we plan to add functionality for collaborative tours, as well as the option to input a vehicle type for the most accurate gas cost calculations. With GigAtlas, artists can spend less time planning and more time performing, making every tour accessible and impactful. Thank you for your time, and we're happy to take any questions.
Thank you, guys. Judges, questions? Jessica, go ahead.
Firstly, what a great presentation. I really like this idea. What would be your monetization strategy for this?
I can take that question. We've discussed the possibility of a subscription. with the ability to have a free trial beforehand. So we were thinking maybe let the artist do a planning for maybe like a 2 or 3 stop tour so they could see how the gas prices and the booking and everything would work. But then for anything larger, there would be a paid subscription model.
Cool, thank you.
Joseph, go ahead.
Oh,
Um,
my hand is still raised, hang on.
Amazing presentation. I think this is so needed in this day and age. Curious, when you're matched with available venues, is there anything with the capacity in terms of recommendations where, if you're a small artist, it's matching you with venues that are, 80 cap rooms versus just, the Beacon Theater in New York or something like that?
Yeah, so I can take that question. So that's going to depend on one of our future iterations. What we're gonna, with some of this capacity data is behind paywalls with Polestar and other applications. So our goal is once this app goes up, what we'll do is create partnerships with likes of Ticketmaster, Polestar, and such to be able to pull in venue numbers and then use the first tab where we get the top cities and combine that, put it in the algorithm to weigh in listeners and also venue capacity to be able to say, like, these are your ideal venues that you should be reaching out to.
Okay, and Bryce will be our final question.
Yeah, great job, everyone. Curious to the monetization piece. Would you also offer this a la carte in a subscription? Like if you only want a certain set of data, you can pay this versus another set of data, you can pay another price.
Yeah, I think we'd definitely be open to that, especially when you consider the perspective of an artist potentially wanting to use specific data points in order to pitch themselves to a venue. Like, depending on what type of artist you are and where you're at with your career, that might be more appropriate for you rather than the full tour planning functionality.